all of. My name is Pooja Shivash Patel. Today's date is 17 January 2022 and today's bio topic name is exception handling in Java. The exception handling in Java is one of the most powerful mechanisms to handle the runtime errors so that the normal flow of the application can be maintained. In this tutorial, we will learn about Java exception, its types, and the difference between checked and unchecked exception. The exception are two types: checked exception and unchecked exception. So, firstly, we discuss about what is exception in Java. Uh, the dictionary meaning of a exception is an abnormal condition. In Java, an exception is an event that describes the normal flow of the program. It is an object which is thrown at runtime process. Then we explain what is exception handling. The exception handling is a mechanism to handle runtime errors such as uh, class not found exception, IO exception, SQL exception, remote exception, etc. exception are included in exception handling. Then uh, the exception handling uh, advantages of exception handling. The core advantages of a exception handling is to maintain the normal flow of the application. An exception normally describes the normal flow of the application. Then the types of a Java exception. The Java exception are mainly two types: checked exception and unchecked exception. There are mainly two types um, exception. The checked exception is an error is considered as the unchecked exception. However, exception to Oracle, according to Oracle, there are three types of exception, namely checked exception, unchecked exception, and error. Then, firstly, we discuss about checked exception. The checked exception is the class that directly inherit the throwable class except runtime exception and error known as checked exception. For example, IO exception, SQL exception, etc. The checked exception are checked at the uh, compile time process. Then second one is a unchecked exception. The unchecked exception, the classes that inherit the runtime exception are known as unchecked exception. The unchecked exception, for example, arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, array index out of bound exception, etc. The unchecked exception are not checked at the compile time, but they are checked at the runtime process. Then third one is a error. The error is a irrecoverable. Some example of errors are out of memory error, virtual machine error, uh, assertion error, etc. Then the use of try keyword. The try keyword is used to specify a block where we should place an exception code. It means we cannot use try block alone. Uh, the try block must be followed by the either catch or finally block. It is most important catch or finally block. The catch block is used to handle the exception. It must be preceded by try block, which means we cannot use catch block alone. It can be followed by finally block later. The finally block is used to execute the necessary code of the program. It is executed where an exception is handled or not. Then throw keyword. The throw keyword is used to throw an exception throws uh, uh, throws. The throws keyword is used to declare exception. It specifies that there may occur on exception time in the method. It does not throw an exception. It is always used with method signature. That's all about today's topic. I hope we can understand. Thank you.